Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into Apple's upcoming AI rollout and why it might be too staggered to trigger the next big iPhone supercycle. If you're curious about Apple's AI strategy, iPhone design changes, or lack thereof, and what this means for consumers and investors, stick around for the full breakdown. We all know Apple's yearly product events are some of the most anticipated in the tech world. But with this year's event focusing on a staggered AI rollout and minimal changes to the iPhone design, it's left many wondering, is Apple losing its edge when it comes to innovation? Let's dig deeper into what's going on. According to a recent article from Bloomberg, Apple's AI rollout is planned to be staggered across several products instead of a massive launch. Now, on the surface, that might sound like a smart move, rolling out AI features across devices gradually rather than all at once. But what's the potential downside? Well, the main issue is that this staggered release reduces the impact and excitement around Apple's AI capabilities, meaning we're less likely to see a huge wave of upgrades, or what many call a supercycle. To understand why, let's first clarify what we mean by supercycle. In simple terms, a supercycle is when a tech company experiences a massive increase in demand for its products, usually triggered by a game-changing feature or design. In Apple's case, many investors and fans were hoping AI would spark the next iPhone supercycle. But with the staggered rollout, this surge of excitement may not happen. Another key factor contributing to this is that Apple's new iPhone design looks, well, quite familiar. Bloomberg reports that the iPhone 16 will look very similar to its predecessors. So, without a groundbreaking design change, many users might hold off on upgrading their devices. When you combine a lack of design innovation with the slow rollout of new AI features, it's easy to see why the iPhone supercycle might be out of reach this time around. We've seen this pattern before. When the design remains largely the same, users tend to delay upgrading their phones. So, while the iPhone might still be a fantastic device, the lack of visual and structural changes can lead to a plateau in sales. Now, Apple has never been a company to rush things. They're strategic, especially when it comes to introducing new technologies. So, is Apple making the right decision by rolling out AI features gradually? That depends. A staggered rollout allows Apple to gather feedback and improve its AI systems incrementally, which could result in better performance and fewer glitches in the long run. But the downside is that consumers won't feel the immediate benefit of Apple's AI advancements, especially in comparison to competitors like Google and Samsung, who are pushing AI-focused products more aggressively. In a world where cutting-edge technology is a major selling point, Apple risks falling behind in terms of public perception, even if the end product is more polished. For investors, this news has mixed implications. Apple's conservative approach to AI means the company is focusing on long-term stability rather than short-term gains. However, that also means we might not see a big bump in stock prices following this year's event. Typically, a supercycle leads to massive sales spikes, which in turn boosts stock performance. Without that, Apple's stock might remain relatively flat until we see more dramatic innovations or product releases. Still, Apple remains one of the most valuable companies in the world, and while this news might not trigger a surge, it's unlikely to cause any major setbacks either. So, what does this all mean for you, the consumer? If you're someone who's waiting for that next big leap in smartphone technology, it might be best to wait for future iPhone models with more significant changes. But if you're simply looking for a reliable device with gradual improvements, Apple's staggered AI rollout could still provide some exciting features over time. As for Apple's future, they're clearly playing the long game with AI, and we'll have to wait and see how that strategy plays out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Apple should have gone bigger with AI? Or do you appreciate their careful approach? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tech insights and news. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay tech savvy.